Welcome to editing. We are here in the editing suite upstairs. I don't edit in my basement studio, mostly because the chair here is much more comfortable. We're editing on my vintage 2012 iMac, which isn't the fastest machine in the world, but it really gets the job done. I've edited 3 or 4 films on this, so you know, we're still working with this. I want to go through just a little bit of the process here for anybody who might be interested, how we get from the filming stage into the final film stage here via the editing. I edit in Adobe Premiere Pro. I have used that on all of my films. I know there's other systems out there. Everyone's really into DaVinci right now. Premiere Pro is really the thing that works for me. And I don't have to think about it very much. This is just my process, and it's just, you know, it's intuitive at this point. So the cameras shoot the footage and save it to these SD cards, which are these kind of like high-end SD cards that cost a little bit more money than your average SD card because they can handle the 4K footage. You take the 4K footage from the card and you save it to a external hard drive. In this case, I use a Samsung SSD drive on this thing, which I love because it's absolutely the tiniest thing in the world and it stores my entire film on it. Obviously, all this footage that's on this drive, you back up to a second drive because once you download the footage onto this drive, you erase it off the SD card, which is my least favorite part of any shooting day. I can tell you that right now. It's amazing to shoot a whole film and then to suddenly erase it off your thing you did. It's so strange, being as someone who comes from the era of shooting the tape. From there, I import the footage into my Premiere Pro project, and I set up a bunch of folders based on the days of shooting and whatnot, the audio versus video, in a way that just makes sense to me. I'm not sure what everyone else does and if there's like a proper procedure for this, but this is the way I've done it on the last couple films, and this works for me, so, you know, whatever. From there, we start building an assembly timeline, and my assembly timeline ends up being pretty close to my final film, and maybe some people would note that that's the problem with them. I don't know. That's how I work as well. One of the least exciting parts of this is syncing up all your footage. In this case, I have 2 cameras going, and I have up to 3 to 4 microphones going at the same time. Some of those audio files are connected to the camera, some of them are independent, and you just have to sync them all up. And that's why you see people do the slate thing or the clap thing. That's the purpose of that. This is scene 70, take 1.
Scene 50, take 4.
Scene 21B, take 1.
Scene 84, second sticks, Mark.
40, take 1.
Second sticks. You gotta clap louder, I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize, that's my bad.
11A, take 3.
11A, take 3.
You have to do that for every single time you start a take, and that's why on this film I actually tried to do as few takes as possible. I would just start a take and I would let it roll and roll and roll. We would redo the scene over and over again. We'd run it back and forth a bunch of times. So then I just have kind of one time I have to do that for most scenes, and I have to go through it and pick out the scenes and the cuts and stuff that I like. As I said, most of the time what I tried to do is get a scene to run all the way through front and back. So I'm just cutting back A, B from the 2 different cameras. And it comes off, you know, just very natural and like a play. The editing process is kind of a fun time for me because I'm not on set, I'm not chasing the sun setting, I'm not, you know, trying to worry about making sure everybody's fed, making sure, you know, everybody's happy and everything, which is a concern for me. I like to take care of my cast and crew. The editing is just a time where it's just me sitting in the computer in my house, and I get to assemble the film in a certain amount of peace and quiet. Which is a nice relief after the hecticness of shooting. So I enjoy this period. I try to get it done as fast as possible. Obviously, we want to get the film done and into color correction and sound editing and then scoring as well, and then into visual effects. So that's going to be the next big stage. So I'm going to talk a little bit about in the next episode, kind of the process that goes through, sort of the step process of editing into color, into sound, into scoring, into VFX, and into the final result of the film. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.